So we're gonna watch this video here. Hopefully you can understand where I'm from on that. Then we're gonna start the lesson. And I mean, we always say we may not make it the whole time, but we'll see what happens. We'll let the Lord do what the Lord does. And hopefully you can see if you need to move up, that's fine too. And it, again, I did what I did to set up. The guy that's in here, the guy that's right here, is Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo. Anybody know who that is? Okay, who's that? Play basketball. So these guys have gotten down to where they've gotten partnerships with certain people and certain companies where they're actually sponsoring this stuff, which I think is amazing. But I think I would love for us to take not necessarily this as a model, but something sort of like this as a model that we can go out and reach out to as well. So here we go.
What it says? Brand new car. Been for a year. You want to surprise somebody with a brand new car right in front of you and me right now? Yeah. Let's do it right now. Yeah, I'm down. Where we going? Well, when you come with a car, maybe there's a bus stop right there. Can we cross the street and see if they have a car?
Yeah, I'm behind you. I'm following you.
Hello. You have a car?
No.
You know who this is?
Um, Sam? No, Sam? How
Where you going?
you
What's your
doing?
name?
Bianca?
Zachary. Can I give you this?
Okay.
It's okay. I got you. I got you. Pinky swear. Boom. I got you.
Are you a mom?
I have a daughter. She's 5.
What's your dream for your daughter?
I want her to be a lawyer, but I'm going to invest in whatever her heart fits her out to.
Where do you work at?
Camilla's house.
What's that?
It's a homeless shelter
Why did you choose to work there?
because I always wanted to provide homes for others and give back to the community. My mom, it was just us and my sisters. We was homeless, so now I'm helping other people.
All right, we're gonna have you turn around, face this way.
Nah, I got you. I got you. I told you. You pinky swear. I got you. All these glasses prescripted.
Yep.
And you take that one foot off and put the glasses right back on you. So you can really see.
1, 2, 3.
I'm gonna give you these first.
Okay. I hear a lot.
Take this on.
Oh,
You need that.
yes.
And this.
Don't think that I'll be the same. It's for me.
That's your brand new car.
Daughters are red. This is going to change me and my daughter's life forever. This is going to change our life forever.
So I love basketball.
Okay.
Well, I'm passing it to you. Read on the other side.
Okay. Ooh. I see the favorite.
Run for a whole year.
Pray for you. If it's 50 curves, yeah, from the strip of this, she can take it to the top.
Man, would you rather have $8,300 cash? See what it says?
Brand new car. Been for a year.
You want to surprise somebody?
The daughter, she's 5.
What's your dream for your daughter?
We was homeless, so now I'm here.
And this.
Okay.
Okay.
That might have been it. That might have been it. Okay. I thought it was
Is there a bus nearby?
Oh my God, yeah. What do you think?
long. But does everybody get the gist of what I was trying to do out on that? On the outside, when they're looking at the young lady, you wouldn't think that that token, gesture of token, would have been so impactful for her. You would you thought maybe she was all put together, right? She looked like she was pretty much put together. I didn't when I first saw it. I'm like, man, she looks like she's got she's not in such a desperate place. And as I was reading the story, the name of the lesson this week is the Christian spirit in industry. Uh, the title that I had was called "The Blueprint for Living." And as we read this, and you've seen the video, you've seen how it affected her. Does anybody have any thoughts on what they saw and any feedback from the video as it relates to the story? And,
She obviously had been praying um, for help, even though she provided for other people.
yeah,
I think she also included prayers for herself
oh yeah, oh, yeah.
because they are and have been in the homeless situation
Right,
that they were hoping to be able to someday get out of that.
right. And relate that to what we're studying this week. Anybody can help them.
You're going back to that title I was supposed to have, huh?
No. I mean, just what we're studying this week, related to what we're studying this week.
Well, it talks about taking care of other people.
Oh.
And
How does it talk about
how do I what?
it? How does it talk about taking care of other people?
Well, it's not just it judge well what's doing what's right.
Okay.
For instance, a lot of the day workers have gone out and done work,
Mhm.
and I've heard of situations where they never got paid.
Oh yeah.
They were taken
Oh
to,
yeah.
hired to do things, and people wouldn't pay them.
That happens now. That happens now. Like I deal with that subset of society where I work with contractors that have horror stories on top of horror stories. Mostly you hear the horror story from the customer about the contract. You don't really hear it from the other side. You know what I'm saying? Because I've worked with people before. Man, people something else. People something else, man. If I wasn't people, I wouldn't want to deal with them. You know, people something else. I had a contractor guy's name was uh, he was one of the guys that bid on the wall, Hearns Landscape. And he did some work for you guys over there. And so one of the jobs, and contractors are hit and miss too. Some things they do well, some things they may do better on one job, and maybe they have some stuff going on. He's had health struggles for a while. I remember not seeing him for a while, and I called him, and he was actually in ICU in the hospital. His wife picked up and said, yeah, his blood sugar was on a whole different level, and he had to be hospitalized. That's a side note. You never know what people got going on underneath, why they maybe not doing what they're doing. But good guy. Like the guy himself was great. But going back to what I was going to tell you, they had a situation where he was doing a retaining wall, and for homeowner, got a Christian. He said he got along great. So the retaining wall was probably like a 50-foot retaining wall or so. It's a good size for a homeowner. And he wanted, in the middle of the retaining wall, he wanted 2 steps to go up so he could go up to the property. Everybody follow me so far? Retaining wall, he wanted 2 steps, real nice, lights. And so he gets like a third of the way through, they broken ground, tore stuff, putting in the foundation, the what do you call it? The bottom, the what do you call it? Footing. Thank you. Appreciate it. So he got me. Put in footing. They're building up the wall. They got the 2 steps in. Just about. Guy comes in. Brother Ron, guess what he asks? Can you go and take it from 2 steps up to 3 steps? Because he said, I think that'll be less of a drastic drop. I asked for 2 steps, but now that I see you got 2 steps in, I really want to be 3 steps. So he said, well, no problem. I got you. I got you. So to go from 2 steps to 3 steps, what people don't understand is that everything had to come down. Everything had to start from scratch. He had to redo everything. And he goes in and he submits the final bill, which is way higher than what it was at first. What do you think they said to him? What do you think they said to him?
We're not gonna pay
We
this.
not gonna pay it.
It's
He
not
had
what you said in the first place.
what you said in the first place. Why in the world would somebody say that to somebody who they wanted to change for?
Greed.
Maybe, maybe,
They wanted something for nothing.
or
They
maybe.
wanted if he had given them the bill that he had originally quoted them, even though he made those changes, they probably wouldn't have said anything.
True. And what I told him was, I pulled him to the side and I said, man, I said, this is your fault.
Should have laid out.
Yeah,
How much
they should have
more
said,
it
yes,
was
it
gonna
was gonna
cost.
be more.
I said, this is your fault. I said, you have to clearly let them know exactly what's going to have to go into it. It's going to entail
Tearing down.
tearing down. Even though the guy saw him doing it,
Mhm.
even though the guy saw him hauling more stuff in and getting stuff moved around, I'm like, it's your fault. And man, he was so mad at me, he wouldn't talk to me.
It was. It truly was. And you gotta know that as a contractor.
Now,
Anytime you change something, it's gonna cost you money.
Yeah.
it's common sense to everybody but the people involved.
Right. Right.
We looking at it from the outside view, we can kind of see more clearly on this kind of thing. And I'm saying that in real life.
And also the homeowner should know that, hey, I'm changing something. It's gonna cost me more money. I'm not doing that work.
They don't
Even more. So
like that.
I know I'm gonna have to pay more.
They don't. I honestly will tell you, I've been doing this for 30 some years,
Right.
man. They do not think at all. They just in their brain they figure like, oh, that's just a throw in.
Unfortunately, in the service industry, it brings out diversity.
You ain't gotta explain it to me.
One Matthew says it, especially if paying those folks do that change in that.
Christian man. He's dealing with a Christian man. He's dealing with a Christian family. The guy's a Christian himself. You would think that some way they would have met at the
In the
middle somewhere.
Right at Jesus.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what happened. That not only did he not pay him at all,
Oh, not at all.
he kicked him off the property, cussed him out all the way off the property, told him to never come back. So the dude had to go and put what they call
Lean.
a lien, put a lien on the guy's property.
Oh, yeah. He's gotta get his money.
He got his money.
I mean, that's only fair.
So my thing, and I started this thing with saying as far as how it relates to the story, the way I see it is that people don't get paid for stuff that they're doing. They were commanded to do because it happened. People would come and do work for them and they wouldn't pay them. How would you feel if you were at work all week or 2 weeks or whatever your cycle was to get paid and the person who had held your check didn't pay you? I've been very, very blessed. As many things, as bad things I can say about Menards, I can honestly say, since I've been there, I've never had a check missed. I've never had a check late. I've always gotten better out of Menards than what I've got. And I've been very blessed because the formula for Menards, I'm going to go ahead and take and put a $25 million building in a place that has milk and 2x4s. And people are going to come in here. You can have sold me on that. If that was my money, Maurice, we're gonna put milk in 2x4s and screws and have food and pet food. Oh, it's gonna be the rage of a period. No, man, I'm gonna go ahead and we'll do something different.
And do the rebate. The rebates are,
Yeah.
I like people.
Oh yeah. I hear that all the time. And I think that God is, and I pray for that place constantly. I pray for my boss, who he is constantly. And I know that God has sustained me. I'm that one that they're throwing out the sheath to.
Mm.
I'm that one they're throwing out the sheath to. You know what I mean when I say that?
Yep.
What am I saying?
You're saying the leftover.
The leftovers. I'm the one getting the left because in any thought process imaginable, if you say, "Hey, you go to school, you get out, oh, you're working at a lumberyard?" Yes, sir. Every day.
And
The stigma that's put on us by the people that come in. You got people, the Caterpillar people coming in. You got Kamasi people coming in. You got the people who are office workers, OSF. OSF, I got my badge on, got my lanyard on. You got, I need this. I'm an engineer at Caterpillar. No, man, back in the day, I used to run from Caterpillar, from engineers. Oh, man.
why? Just intimidated by?
Oh, no. They're dumb.
Oh.
Okay, let's go back to the lesson. Oh,
Just being honest, man.
well, I got you. I got you. They
Think.
overthink everything. It's like watching somebody get their teeth peeled.
Yeah.
It's like watching somebody teeth. Like, man, I already know, man. What you got? Okay, cool. I got oh,
No, are these projects for their own house or for Caterpillar?
no, that's for all now.
Okay.
Yeah, or those guys will go and get properties and get because they make so much extra money, they can go out and buy a house and do rental property and all that kind of stuff. But what you got, Brother Bob?
I was just gonna say, that fortunately, what happens, the more money that's involved, the worse it brings out of people. I mean, I dealt with $1 million contracts, and I was dealing with people, you would think that they were things, absolutely, you were stealing from, and yet, they weren't writing the checks, they were writing for the checks for some other entity. And I just thought,
Until it's their money.
Yeah.
Well, wait till you deal with them as their own money.
yeah, yeah,
It has to, and it's like, there was a guy, but we're gonna move the story. We're gonna move the story. We're gonna move the story. All right. So the Christian spirit to the industry, can you read the key verse, please?
Yes. When you reap harvest on your field and forget chief on the field, you shall not go back to get it. It shall be left for the alien. Okay. The orphan and the widow. So what? So that the Lord your God may bless you in all your undertakings.
Deuteronomy 24,
Yes.
19. By this time in Deuteronomy, this is Deuteronomy 24. Moses is approximately. Anybody want to take a stab at it? How old he was? Yeah, he was old. It's number wise. Give me a number.
Yeah, about 170 something like that.
20. So he's 120 years old, and this is one of his considered his last sermon. And by this time, Israel has been wandering and wandering and wandering. And they haven't gone into the land. They're about to go into the land. And chapters 1 through 23 kind of takes you on this journey and how they were from last week. How they told us to not forget that they were slaves in Egypt is where we are now. So I think that this week I had some random thoughts, and I think I'm gonna hit those later. But I want to just hit you a couple of them now and see if it triggers anybody now. Random thoughts, and then I want to see if you can time into the story. Random thoughts, Mr. Jackie. Random thought. Random thought. $1.7 billion. Random thought. Okay. Okay. Random thought, Brother Ryan. USAID.
That's what.
USAID.
Oh, that's what got cut.
USAID. Random thought. Medicare. Okay. What about the government?
They're cutting everybody that needs not to be cut.
Yes. Random thought. SNAP benefits.
Right.
Isn't that amazing? So the story is talking about what again? Break that down to me, Brother Ron. The story here is talking about what?
To me, it's about treating everybody fair and doing what's right in the eyes of God.
In the eyes of God, is it
And helping.
in helping? And in particular, they talk about the homeless, right?
And
They talk about the ones that you saw in the video earlier that were struggling, right?
well, not only those aliens,
Right.
also those that came into the country.
They came to the country.
Right.
Isn't it amazing how the Bible talks about one thing and how we were set up? We were giving aid. We were helping people. We had things, subsidies set aside. We had sheaves set up to the side. And now they're cutting all that off. These are all random thoughts I'm thinking through the week. And these are all happened in the last year and a half, 2 years. And you think about USAID, the 1.7 billion was for what? Anybody know? The 1.7 billion, what was that? What does that have to do with? Anybody know?
President Donald Trump for proposing for settlement for paying people who have been convicted of the insurrection at the Capitol.
Yeah,
And it means that the taxpayer, you and I, are going to pay that
where to pay that?
settlement.
On a day where people lost their lives. And they were doing their job and trying to protect people. So the 1.7 billion
And it was an insurrection against the country.
against the country.
That's right.
That's the mind blowing thing to me.
Right.
And I was looking up and it just say these are just random thoughts as I'm going through the lesson. I'm praying and I'm asking God. Boom, random thought comes up. I write it down. And I'm like, man. So what was the budget of USAID that was so important that they needed to cut? That were helping people. But they're turning around and they're just cutting the check to others. We got a war going on that's costing 10 times that on a daily,
On a daily.
but won't feed the people that are here locally. But run out just started reading that. Well, I want to get into the story, and then we'll come back to it. Go ahead and start a talk there, brother. Deuteronomy 20. Yeah, George, take us through all of it.
You shall not hold the wages of the poor and needy laborers, whether other Israelites or aliens who reside in your land in one of your towns. You shall pay them their wages daily before sunset, because they are poor and their livelihood depends on them. Otherwise, they might cry to the Lord against you, and you will incur guilt. Parents shall not be put to death for the children, nor shall children be put to death for the parents. Only their own crimes may persons be put to death. You shall not deprive a resident alien or an orphan of justice. You shall not take a widow's garment in pledge. Remember that you were a slave in Egypt, and the Lord your God redeemed you from there. Therefore, I command you to do this. When you reap your harvest in your field and forget the sheep in the field, you shall not go back to get it. It shall be left for the alien, for the orphan, and the widow, so that the Lord your God may bless you all your undertakings. When you beat your olive tree, do not strip what is left. It shall be there. It shall be for the alien, the orphan, and the widow. When you gather the grapes of your vineyard, do not glean what is left. It shall be for the alien, the orphan, and the widow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Slaves, obey your earthly masters with respect and treasury. Singleness apart as you obey Christ. Not with a slavery performed merely for looks, to please people, but as slaves to Christ. Doing the will of God for the soul. render service with enthusiasm for the Lord and not for you, knowing that whatever good we do, we will receive the same again from the Lord, whether we are enslaved or free. And masters, do the same to them. Stop threatening them, for you know that both of you have the same Lord in heaven, and with him there is no partiality. As for those who in the present age are rich, command them not to be haughty or to set their hopes on the uncertainty of riches, but rather on God, who richly provides us with everything for our enjoyment. They are to do good, to be rich in good work, generous and ready to share, thus storing up for themselves treasures of a good foundation for the future, so that they may take hold of a life that really is life.
Amen. All right, introduction. Can you go ahead and pick that up with introduction? Introduction. Can you do introduction?
Last week we examined look from God's perspective, seeing God's presence in every aspect of life, including our work. We explored how work can honor God and serve others. But God isn't just interested in us working. He cares about how we work.
Okay, let's stop there. Right back over. I want you to really hear that.
Last week we examined God's perspective, seeing God's presence in every aspect of life, including our work. We explored how work can honor God and serve others. But God isn't just interested in us working. He cares about how we work and primarily how we treat others.
Explain.
Our life is always conflict. Our life is not just about us. How we treat our fellow man, how we treat our family, how we treat through God's lives.
What you just said. Wait, what you just heard.
In every aspect of our life, including our work life.
Okay.
Our blessings come from God on how we treat others.
Okay. Can you give me an example at all? Maybe something that is more concrete that maybe the group can glean on?
Well, we talked about it in the early verses of Ron read. You can't withhold wages. You can't treat people as if they're nothing. You have to pay them. You have to pay them timely before sunset. In other words, how you treat people is going to be whether or not God blesses you or not.
When you go here, it says how we treat others, our actions at work should reflect biblical principles and bring him glory. What does that mean, Pat?
Say that again now.
I'm reading the introduction here.
Which one? Our actions?
Yeah, our actions at work should reflect biblical principles and bring him glory. Yeah, I dissect that down.
When our actions reflecting that, because one, I've learned if we claim the name of Christ, save people watching. People are watching us. They're not going to tell you, but they're watching. You know, so how we conduct ourselves? Are we on are we on time?
Yes.
Are we slack when we get there?
Lean on that. Lean on that. Yes.
Yeah, being punctual because it's reflect everything we do is unto God. We say He's an on time God.
So what does being on time mean to you? Okay, because I'll say for me, I was always brought up, if you're 5 minutes early, you're late. If you're 5 minutes early, you're late. Now that ain't how people roll today.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That ain't how people roll today. I'm talking about. I even come here. I'm here for Sunday school, probably an hour. Not saying I'm trying to be award. I ain't trying to get no award. I ain't saying all that. But my mindset is set different. I get to work almost an hour early.
Well, you got credit, but your reward is from God.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Being early, that's
Yes, yes,
So and
yes,
everything we do
yes.
from being,
Thank you.
if it's 8
Thank
o'clock,
you. Thank
we're
you.
in place
Thank
at 8. Yep. In place at 8. Anything we do, meeting suspense dates,
you. Yeah.
whatever product they want, we have it to them and they'll know, man, that's a child of God. Everything that we do and reflecting God's glory, bringing God glory and all that we do, that employee right there, they will know and say, yeah, and they'll believe as well.
Have you ever met any raggedy Christian,
As in
like
their
not on
life or their
time,
job.
not on time, not just
But
they,
I used to be one. I
think we all were. Well,
I bet, man.
I am.
You see, I just said thank you. I didn't say that one coming. I'm thinking I'm gonna roll with you to go back to to Davenport or somewhere. Like, oh, I had this one. North Carolina.
Yeah, I was the one. I used to be the one to come in at the last 15 minutes of Sunday school just to go right, slide into the service. I thought I was doing something. To missed all the Sunday school. I come in about the last 10, 15 minutes of
You know,
Sunday
but
school.
a lot of people think, and I'm going to actually back him.
Hmm.
I'm going to back you. I'm not going to be ragged when I say this. I tease you about being here on time,
Hmm.
but I honestly don't expect you to be here at all. I honestly don't, because I know Sunday is a different day for me than it is for you. You need to be in prayer for the church, and your meditation needs to be about. I appreciate you coming.
Hmm.
I mess with you about being here early, but I'm just doing that's just gonna be,
Oh, yes,
yeah.
I understand.
But I think that when you see people and they're Christian, the level of output should be different. It should look different. It should feel different. If I left my wallet with Brother Runner, hey, can I get you to hold on to this right here? I want you to hold on it. Hey, hold on to it for me. I'm cool. When I come back to him, I got no worries. I know when I come back, it's gonna be there's some Christians. Some Christians, right. I look at Menard. I look at Menard. Hey, look, that Menard card is actually canceled.
Oh,
Hey,
I still want.
but there should be. How was my thought about that with a Christian? My wallet's sitting here. That should be the safest place in the world, right? Now,
Should be.
it should be the safest place.
Still no battery.
Yes. You know, Brother Marvin, at the same token, uh, hearing about hearing about what happened a while back. I don't know the people involved. It just uh, from the position that that they was in an AME prison and what happened to their pension money. I reflect on that some the same way. They been in that position. Nothing should have, everything should have been in good status. That's you know,
Man, yeah, that's millions of dollars.
you know,
Like you said, should have been totally safe.
should have been totally
Should have
safe.
been totally safe.
But the devil creeped in.
Man,
That's all it is. But that goes back. Right. I look at them as good Christians, especially at that level that they was in. But that also shows you they're no different than you and I.
no different.
I mean, some people hold them
Yeah.
to that level, but they still put their pants on one leg at a time, and
It shows you that no matter what your status is in life, he will grab you.
right.
And give you an example. It has nothing to do with money, but there was somebody at the gym. I was talking to a young lady. We were just talking about. She said she was doing yoga, and I'm like, man, if my wife does yoga, that'd be kind of cool to kind of get into that. I mean, because I'm stiff, I want to be able to do something. So somebody sees us talking, right? There's another guy. Oh, Doc, I saw you talking earlier. Uh, yeah, what? Hey, well, I was just waiting till y'all got done talking. Well, the way he said it disturbed me. And I told him, I said, sir, ain't nothing I'm talking about to her that my wife can't hear. I said, my wife could be standing right there. I mean, we ain't have no conversation outside that doesn't, but it's a biblical principle that I hold. I want to make sure I have barriers around me. So when my wife got into, she does, she has many hats. She works with insurance. She's elder. She also does some other stuff. from Camp David, yada, yada, yada. And she found out there were practices that were in place that gave her total power. Like she had this money, she could do whatever she wanted. She's like, we need to fix this. I just can't have unchecked power. Now, this is somebody with unchecked power saying, I don't want unchecked power. I want you guys to be able to come in and check this at any time. We need to have a check and balance system throughout it. You as an accountant should understand there should be a check and balance, but because you said we should be able to just trust these people, he's like, my wife's an accountant too. He's like, that's not how the real world works. And because they know and have different knowledge, she was able to bring in a different system, and they're working on a different system now. There are checks and balances. So even in the midst of all that money being gone, they're only working with limited knowledge on how to do stuff. So having somebody in that position is able to bring that knowledge, saying, hey, look, this is what we can do, stuff is starting to hopefully change. So, for the rejection, you pick it up there on chapter 5.
Today's lesson draws from both the Old and New Testament. The Christian spirit and industries mean our work should be guided by qualities such as honesty, respect, and generosity. We are called to honor God in all our interaction, regardless of our status or position. We revisit Deuteronomy 24:14-21, where Moses speaks to the Israelites before they enter the promised land. From the New Testament, we examine Ephesians 6:5-9 and 1 Timothy 6:17-19, where Paul offers advice and demonstration faith through work, regardless of your current job position. This lesson aims to encourage you to consider how your work to honor God and serve others.
Requirements for justice and fairness in the workplace. Deuteronomy 24:14-21. Clearly, these instructions are aimed at those Israelites who would hold positions of authority in the workplace. Moses' instructions are straightforward. Workers must be paid promptly and fairly. These workers are similar to what we think of as day laborers. To promote compassion and fairness in employer-employee relationships, Moses encourages the Israelites to consider their own hardships, such as their slavery in Egypt. With a focus on helping the needy among them, Moses introduces a system of gleaning, which requires paying special attention to the poor, widows, and orphans.
God said, don't forget where you came from. That's the statement here where it talks about Moses encouraging the Israelites to consider their own hardship, such as slavery. He did not want them to forget where they had come from. The question is, what ways can we stay grounded and remember who we are?
What ways? What?
Can we stay grounded and to help us remember who we are? There are certain things we might do that to help us go back to humble ourselves.
I think is that a question for anybody? Yeah, I think we do it as members of the church by opening our doors to the homeless and
More personal.
Oh, more personal. When we do that,
Yeah.
When I personally do that,
Okay.
I feel it keeps.
Oh, down, and you go down.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And then also when we help them through other ways through the monthly projects.
Okay.
When we sacrifice whatever we have, bring or buy or furnish for the I think it's the women, the Crittenham.
Yeah. We had a thing at work where Menards, they actually do collections. And so if as you're going out the door, you can buy and donate certain things. So sometimes they do for pet food, sometimes they do for toys, sometimes they do. And so I had been buying for months to get a percent of you. You know, we were setting up and doing toy drives, but the toy drives were always missing. You know, when they were doing it and we were doing it, we're hardly ever on the same page.
Right.
So when I get it, God, we weren't doing nothing. You know, when I was asking about it, I didn't want to just bring yourself down here, you know, in the city. I mean, that's almost kind of big. But I ended up having 3 full pallets of what was it? Like toiletries and toilet paper, all kind of stuff like that I took down to the treatment center. And when I went in there, they were just they lit up like a Christmas tree. You know, they was like, you know, we've got never got you know people bring it in a van and choosing few, but it made me think, man, our voice means something. And a lot of times we don't thinking outside the box. Sometimes is just is definitely helpful. But I think one of the things that I do when I go home, sometimes you may drive by your old home. Say, I'm from Mississippi. I drive by my house, and I'll say normally when I drive by my old house, you know, if it had not been for the Lord, that grounds me for here and for now, because you never know how far you come, and then I see the stuff that's around my house. I see that how the houses are broken down, people houses I might have hung out at, burnt down, and I'm like, man, it grounds me and fuels me at the same. Because everybody follow me on that. Mm-hmm. So at some point, you should find something that grounds you and takes you to that place. If it had not been for the Lord, because you may say it, but that takes me there because I see it in person. I see it in person. What was that? Mr. Donald, can you pick it up?
Okay, thank you. Respect and integrity service requirements. Ephesians 6:5-9. Just as Moses' instructions guided the Israelites, Paul writes to the Ephesians despite his imprisonment in Rome. He offers guidance on relationships between slaves and masters within the Greco-Roman household structure. His message addresses both parties, stressing mutual responsibility. Slavery at the time was different from the racial slavery we're more familiar with. People became slaves for various reasons: war, debt, or poverty, and many had some rights, like owning property, earning wages, or even buying their freedom. Paul does not address the institution itself, but focuses on how individuals should act within it. He calls both slaves and masters to approach the roles with certainty, fairness, and reverence for Christ. Slaves are urged to obey sincerely, not just when being watched, but as if serving Christ directly. Paul reminds them and their masters that God rewards people based on their work, not their status.
What does that mean?
That God rewards everyone despite where they are in life, what they what they are considered in life, like slave, master, Mitch Ford, exactly.
Sure, you don't respect them personally.
Right.
That's a nice thing for us to, you know, no matter where you are, get the same consideration. You know, it's not because you have a certain title. And I think honestly, if you're so like okay, you got Pastor Burns here. One of the here, and I'm going to relate it to myself. I didn't want to not teach Sunday school because I was afraid for Sunday school. I didn't want to teach Sunday school because the words that come out of my mouth, people hear, and I'm held accountable. There's a lot more weight when you're preaching the word, and when you're teaching the word. I feel because you're shaping and forming the minds of the people that you're talking to, and that's what humbles me. I'm like, Lord, I'm afraid I'm gonna say the wrong thing. Lord, I'm gonna say something, or I remember the first time somebody fell asleep in my class. They were knocked out. And that's why I sat in front of them and I'm like, okay, I'm not talking loud enough. Come over here and have my book sitting right here and when they're talking, there's a teacher right here. And then I'm like, man, that's kind of, but
Could have been a rough night though. I mean,
thank you. Thank you.
right.
The fact that they're sitting here, they probably can get more in just hearing, subconsciously than I would, if they're awake. Maybe this brings a calmness to their life to where they never had a chance to rest, and I'm giving them rest. And I had to look at that thing from a different perspective. And I'm telling you, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My pastor in North Carolina said that when he mentioned that when, like it used to bother him when he was preaching, people would fall asleep, but the Lord let him know that when some people come to church, that's like the only peace they may get. There's an inner ear. They may be sleeping, but exactly. Yeah. So same thing.
Oh, man. And I get it. Like I understand because I've been like I don't do meetings very well. Not that meetings that give me peace, but I believe they're the same thing.
Do you not often? Do you not often? That's
I have meetings all the time.
right.
I have meetings, and so I think like a month ago, I was sitting in a meeting and it was heavy that day. It was heavy on me. So I do this. I'm sitting here. I'm going. I hit myself in the leg like that, and everybody looks at me. I'm like, oh man, I'm trying to catch a fly. Oh man, I'm like, oh man, I'm just struggling. So I got up, and I'm like, and they knew I was going to around. But I'm like, boy, y'all got to get through this meeting. Now this joke would be having meetings, and they're literally about nothing. They're literally about nothing. I mean, like man, I could have just been running down the wall and gotten more out of this thing. And this thing is, I mean, I don't even want to bore you to death. We can tell you what we're talking about because it's about that. And that I struggle in that situation. But I love to learn. Even when I'm studying, I'm excited and reading. That excites me. You know what I mean? I got one more. And I'm drained.
I'm just excited about it.
I'm drained. All right, we're gonna go past Sankofa here. We're gonna keep moving until we get to. Let's go to. Let's get case study. We got done one earlier, man. Oh, can you get a case study, please?
Judge Edith Sampson exemplified the Christian spirit in industry. Born into poverty as one of 8 children in Pittsburgh, she left school at the age of 14 to work as a fish cleaner at a local market. Later, she resumed her studies and achieved academic success. She graduated from John Marshall Law School and in 1927 became the first woman to earn a Master of Laws from Loyola University. That same year, she passed the Illinois bar. A true trailblazer, Sampson was the first African American to represent the U.S. at the United Nations and the first Black delegate to the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO. At the UN, he served on the Humanitarian and Cultural Committee, advocating for social welfare and international goodwill, including through her work with the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. Her legacy goes beyond professional milestones. Judge Sampson is also remembered for her Christian diligence, her commitment to peace, and her tireless advocacy for unity and justice. Her life reflects a powerful blend of faith, service, leadership, and compassion. For more information, see Encyclopedia.
Okay. Let me ask you this. So it says she grew up poor, she worked her way up, law degree, love, yada 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 yada. Do you know anybody that's like that loves their work and works wholeheartedly at it? Because I've seen it normally if the money's coming in, going good, easy going. If you just basically making ends meet, you're struggling, you're frowning. Do you know anybody who's like that? Who maybe their work doesn't pay them a lot of money, but they're just happy because they're working what unto the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know anything? That's my question to you. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. As far as like, what's their mindset? Have you talked to them about why they're happy like that? What brings them to that mindset? Have you looked into that situation? So you can see that they're happy, but is it because of the Lord or are they just happy people? Some people are just happy people. It's not just they're doing it to God. It's just you know because you talk to them about
We have to talk to you. I mean, some people you can kind of look at it and tell.
it. Okay, I got you. Yes, thank you.
I have a relative, you're my husband. This young man is a drummer. He loves to drum. He's been drumming for the rest, all his life. But not only that, he drums for a church as well
Mm.
because he was brought up in the church.
Right.
His mother, his grandmother, everybody, his father, everybody. But he loves his work. He loves music. He loves.
Yeah, that's a great example. That's actually great. I remember when Brian was the drummer here, and man, I just not that I'm trying to show comparison to the drummer we have now, but I would be drawn to just Brian. I mean, am I just it's just me?
No, I thought that was a guy with a talent.
Yeah.
Man, and I remember when he started out, the drums were sitting over here. You remember that?
Yeah.
So the drums would be over here, and he would just be tapping away, and no big deal. And all of a sudden, man, it just kind of took off. It is, and he would take over a song, and you could feel the energy in the church just take off. And you thought the song was over. Mm-mm. That, boom, boom, and then he started the whole thing, and they go right back in. Anybody remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And it's like when I feel like I pay a lot of money here. We paying them twos and fees, but that joker played as if unto the Lord. He wanted to show God praise,
And I'm gonna say this before I go. And there's a difference when someone is doing it and does it unto the Lord, right? Versus someone who did it for show. It would be totally different.
Yeah. I think that even for me, the lesson is for me is understanding that at work when I'm asking people, hey, how you doing? What project you working on? I'm doing it as unto the Lord, and the connections that I've gotten just from the people connecting with me. They come in and look for me, and even when I don't want to look for them, it just, sometimes I'm just like everybody else. I struggle. I get through the day. I struggle. I'm tired. I mean, I only get about 3-4 hours of sleep a night. So I mean, at some point, it catches up with me, and so they're going to talk about this project and that project, and I want to talk about them leaving.
My day.
I got stuff to do, and so one of the things even Brother Mosley called me this week, and a lot of times I was telling you my struggle with my cell phone. Put my cell phone in my lunchbox. So what time is it? Okay, no, I'm gonna show you that. But people will call me, and it takes me a while to get back with them because now I'm trying to detach myself because I'm at work, and then they, oh, well, yeah, I called you, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I only have so many times a day I pick up my phone to get back with him. And when I called him back, he was actually looking out for somebody else. There was a young man that he saw that he wanted to try to help. He wanted to see if he can get him a job. That's amazing to me. The fact that he said he only met him one time, and he had his best interest. As a Christian, I appreciate that. He's trying to look out for somebody else. Does somebody have anything else before we close it down? Go ahead. Exactly. Close out, please.
Father God, we come to you this morning. Thank you for this Sunday school lesson. We just ask that you continue to lead, guide, and protect each and every one of us from all hurt, harm, and danger. We just ask that we pray for the pastor as he brings the word to us today. Pray for those that are here, for those who are on the way, and for those who are not able to come. This we ask in Jesus' name.
Amen. Hey, you could have been anywhere, but you're here, and I think that this is something and you're going to. I believe Brother Tim will be back next week.
And you.
I hope so. And so, because I've got not only do I teach here, I teach at another church too. So a lot of times when I'm doing double and triple duty, it does kind of wear out because they have different lessons sometimes. It is what it is. Praise God.